In any society, children are those hurt the most.
I know that no one else will accept me except this place.
Double the tragedy for orphans, triple for orphans at war.
18 children experienced this horror.
Their life was crippled even before it had begun, them being born to dysfunctional families. Some didn't survive the existential war Ukraine is going through.
They left his body laying near the village council building for a month. They didn't let us approach to bury him or take him away.
Others, most likely, going to be left with what wars are usually leaving children with. No future. But let me start from where the story starts. From the beginning. FutureLab is an organization in Ukraine that is determined to turn the tables for Ukrainian orphans, literally creating a new future for those disadvantaged, abandoned, unwanted, unloved children now mocked and tortured by this war. We're leaving Kiev for our location, Stara Basan. Behind the wheel is Yana Tsimba, Lieutenant Colonel, head of the Juvenile Prevention Department of the National Police of Kiev. FutureLab works closely with the Juvenile Police of Ukraine, helping children with the help of big hearts all over the world, in our case, Danish hearts. Meet Maiken Larsen, a volunteer, a fragile blonde woman with a tender voice and a concrete hard determination to help. It is not her first time in Ukraine at war, no, and every time Maiken comes over, she brings many things with her. Cars for Ukrainian fighters, food, petrol.
Hallelujah.
We got the petrol coupons. Maiken, but much needed for the generators, sometimes the only source of power under severe Russian shellings and massive power outages here in Ukraine. But above all that, what Maiken brings to Ukraine with her is that essential something that makes us all believe that even so today is dark, future somehow holds good things ahead for us. Hope. We're now 100 kilometers away from our destination, the orphanage in Stara Basan. While we're driving through the villages and communities, Yana tells us stories.
We are driving through the village Peremoha. After a full-scale invasion, it found itself under occupation. There were active hostilities here. Russians had their torture chambers here. There are also local women who have been abducted and are still in captivity as of now.
Horrible. They might sound unreal, unbelievable examples of Russian cruelty. Unbelievable for some, but not for me. A reporter covering war in Ukraine for 4 years by now, been amongst the first to enter Bucha after Russians left. I was standing on the edge of a pit in the ground full of dead bodies, men, women and children. The same horrors Russians brought here to these small villages, maybe just less in scale, but would that scale matter to you if you'd see a face of your loved one in that pit in the ground? Yana tells us all that, so immensely wild, dire and horrible stories because she knows them. She has been there. She visited all the families and documented every occasion of child hurt or murdered. So these terrible crimes won't vanish in the haze one day after the war. Yana makes sure today it's all documented so the perpetrators will be held accountable. We arrived. Yuri Kovbasko, the director of the orphanage, comes to meet us. That is an air raid alert. No sirens here, just a cowbell to ring and announce the danger. Children taking cover in a shelter. Just a basement where food was once stored, now turned into a place to store their lives. Show this to your kids, maybe. Tell them how lucky they are to be born to a functional family, able to provide, defend and care, because someone is not. These children are all orphans, even so their parents are alive. These kids quickly learn their value in this world, and it wasn't just small or insignificant, it's negative. They are not needed. In future, they are highly likely to slowly grow into understanding of who they are. The epitome of uselessness, an unwanted abomination of coincidence and liability both to their parents and society, left all alone to face immense difficulties of their orphan's life, but also war. Ukrainian FutureLab, Lieutenant Colonel Yana Tsimbal from Ukrainian Juvenile Police and Danish volunteer Maiken Larsen are determined to change that. Police let children play with the car, and kids gladly do. They're children, after all. Whatever can and will be turned into a game. Police chasing a criminal. What could be more fun?
Svetlana Mykolaievna, you're under arrest.
He's a cool cop, his teacher is a criminal. But a rare story, no matter how masterfully crafted by men, can approach to even somewhat close to be as thrilling as a true life story. Thrilling or appalling.
I ended up here because my parents didn't love me. I was just unwanted in their family. At one point, they just beat me so hard that I ran away. Then I was caught by the police. The police first took me to a rehab center. I was there for 4 months. At first it wasn't too good, but then I just got used to it. Then the police came for me again and brought me here. I used to run away many times, wanting to go home.
Wait, you wanted to go home to those parents who didn't want you?
Yes, yes. I ran away home again and again. Then I finally realized it is the only home I have, and got used to this school. As I know that no one else will accept me except this place. And so I got used to it. And as of now, to this day, I really like it here.
Tell me, you saw Maiken, who brought a lot of things with her. It's not the first time volunteers come here, is it?
No, not the first time.
FutureLab volunteers Tatiana Halyuk and Olena Medvedeva are bringing not only things badly needed here, like warm clothes or petrol for the generator, but they also bring that feeling that, as they hope, stays with the children even when volunteers leave. There is at least someone in this world who cares about you. I know that these volunteers cooperate with the Juvenile Police. The reason I ask is, I saw your face when you were sitting in that police car.
Black Toyota, pull over.
And I thought to myself, you wouldn't mind maybe becoming a policeman when you grow up?
Yes, I once wanted to become a policeman, but now everything has changed. I want to go to a military school and finish it. Then, when I'm done with that, I want to join the army.
Max, thank you so very much for your time.
Привіт.
What's your name?
Danish.
Ден, тобто, кажуть, друзі, чи Денис кличуть?
Денис.
Добре, Денис, як ти тут? Dennis, how did you end up here? Can you tell me?
Well, my parents are drunkards, so...
Have you been in the Russian occupation?
Ну,
Yes. I was in my village during the occupation,
When was that?
in 2022.
Where was that village?
Tarashkivka village.
A painful question now. A difficult one, as there is so much grief and pain around. Could you personally forgive the Russians for what they did?
Never.
Yeah, I've heard your name before. You are Nastya. How did you end up here? Can you tell me?
ну, Ми у кращі
Well, our mother, she has 4 of us.
4. Типа,
She couldn't cope with us on her own.
She couldn't cope?
Well, yeah,
Where are you from?
Софія.
the village of Sukhia.
You are quite new to this place, are you?
Yes, arrived recently,
When?
Даже у
in
вересні
September.
приїхалася.
Do you think you personally could ever, maybe in the future, forgive the Russians for what they have done?
No,
Want to add anything?
no.
Well, these are our children. They have parents, but they can't raise them properly. And here they are, with us. So yeah, this is our one big family.
Your big family at some point ended up in the Russian occupation.
Unfortunately, yes. Unfortunately, yes. The children. It happened very fast. We just weren't ready. There was no shelter for us, nowhere we could hide.
приміщень, де ми могли б. Тому перші дні ми
So in the first days, we hid in the cellar,
просто в погребі, де
where we used to keep food.
зберігалися овочі,
Vegetables, potatoes, beets, carrots.
так перебували
That's how we survived the first days of the occupation.
в окупації.
How long did it last?
Це
It lasted almost a week,
поки
until we made an agreement with the Russians.
домовилися вже ж із присутніми тут орками. От я,
It's hard to call them soldiers,
щоб вони прибрали своїх солдатів. Мені
it's some kind of horde.
якась орда.
Soldiers would never do that.
Не поступили. Прибрати,
So I asked them to move from the children's bedrooms
щоб дозволили дітям
so that kids could change and eat normally for once.
цей жах.
18 children survived this horror.
I know that one of your family, child, died.
Так,
Yes.
хлопчина
One of our children that we previously sent home to his parents, unfortunately,
правити додому до своїх батьків.
was murdered in Nova Basan. It just happened.
Ось,
Maybe it would have been better for this kid to stay here.
тут. І вона
Then he would have survived.
How did it happen?
це мама послала
His mother sent this boy to get some extra, you know, drinks.
от, він
So this boy and his older brother went out in the evening to look for alcohol for their mother.
мамі спиртне.
The orcs noticed them and started to shoot at them.
Куля йому попала вже.
A bullet hit him in the belly, and he died right on the spot. They left his body laying near the village council building for a month.
Радою
They didn't let us approach to bury him or take him away.
брати його.
According to UNICEF data, in almost 4 years of immense relentless violence of the Russian criminal war against Ukraine, as of late 2025, over 5 million children have been displaced and their education has been disrupted. Nowhere in Ukraine is safe for children, with attacks frequently hitting civilian areas far from the front lines. The verified number of child casualties between just 1 month, March 1st and May 31st, 2025 alone, saw more than 200% increase compared to the previous quarter. As of December 2025, UNICEF reports that at least 3,120 children have been killed or injured by Russia since February 2022. That means Russia will kill 2 more children in Ukraine today.
Я спілкувався з вашими дітьми і питали.
Well, I talked to your children and I asked them if it is possible that they will ever forgive the Russians for what they did.
Росіянам те, що сталося.
I don't know if it's worth asking you.
Не варто питати. Я
It's not.
впевнений, що
I'm sure that all our children, all our people, me in the first place, my son was wounded.
ні від
No way, never will we forgive them for what they've done.
Have you seen Russian troops?
Yes, I meet them every day. Because our kids were here, I had to visit them every day. To get them food, to keep them warm. So yeah, I met Russians every day too. We were once sitting in the boiler room, me, a stoker, and 2 workers. Then we hear a knock on the window, so we went out. Russians put us next to the wall. One of them says, "Get your phone ready for inspection." I was like, "What's to inspect? Come on." My phone is just old junk. And I took it out. See, it's a really old one. And there was that other one with him, Buryat with a machine gun, completely boozed out, standing 2 meters away from us, swaying. He just loads his gun. We are talking to that Russian. But while getting our phones out, we were looking at him, at Buryat. I mean, there is nowhere to run a couple of meters to that wall, and if he squeezes the trigger, there won't be a single piece left of us. Well, then the Russian says, "Hey, nice shoes you have there. Come on, take off your left shoe."
Wait, he tells you to take off your shoe?
Yes. Then he tries on my left shoe and says, "It fits fine, so take off the right one."
I mean, they took your shoes?
Yes, there were 5 of us who lived through it initially. One of us was shot dead by Russians. He was first taken to their police station, to the village of Bykov, interrogated, then shot. He was our electrician. The other 4 of us are alive. Each of us can confirm my story. When Russians were retreating from the village, it was a spree. They were on a rampage. They were burning, ruining, shooting at everything and anyone. Our director and kids hid in another basement because Russians were looking for kids. So they hid there and the Russians did not find them. They found me instead. I was running and that Russian started shooting. Thank God he was firing single shots. If he'd been firing in bursts, he would have got me. So I ran to the river's bank and I just fell down there and hid. So he starts firing at me with tracing rounds and that cane around me catches fire. I'm a local, so I know the terrain. Still, I thought, that's the end of me. I'll just burn to death here. So I start running like hell along the bank, right to my place. And when I was climbing over the fence, my pants caught on it. I twitched in stress and my pants just fell off me. So I'm naked. Then I got home and changed. And then I'd return back to the children. That is what we lived through here. I have worked here for 45 years. On October the 20th turns 46, actually, for 45 years. On October 20th, 1980, I first went to work here as a driver. Then I went to the university, worked as a teacher and combined the job with being also a driver and a quartermaster. Today I work here as a quartermaster and a physical education teacher.
Так, в даний час я працюю за госпом і вчителем фізкультури.
Our director also was a physical education teacher once. He taught the younger kids, but we were both physical education teachers. We studied together in the same university with him. Look, these are our successes. What you see behind me, there are big cups in the back, see? These are all our successes. Children love sports. Of course, now there is a war still. When our orphanage comes to any competition, everyone is not too happy about it because they know that the orphanage always takes all the first places. And our graduates also come to visit us years after they are out. And with pleasure, they hug and they kiss us because we taught them many things. It turns out that we taught them. And now as they are parents themselves, we also teach their kids.
Can you please tell us a bit more about what Free Sky is, what you do?
Well, Free Sky is a small, or I would say quite big organization that takes care of refugees and children from Ukraine and Denmark and in Ukraine. And what Mike in particular does, I'm just a small volunteer, is that she earns money by making jewelry, selling it in Denmark and using those money to help, for example, an orphanage like this and the families of Ukrainians and soldiers too, the families of the refugees in Denmark.
Bill, is that more like a private initiative? It's nothing to do with the state of Denmark?
Nothing. Yeah, it's completely private, and I'm very proud to say that Maiken has such a big heart that she started doing this all on her own, despite having never been to Ukraine when the war started. It's amazing. I know Maiken works with the Juvenile police, who has so kindly taken us here and showed us many things in Ukraine, which of course only motivates us more to see how these young children live, and they need a lot of things and they need a lot of help.
And having you here is a privilege and honor, Bill. Thank you so much.
No, it's our privilege and honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank Ukraine.
What are you doing here, Mike?
Right here, I'm at an orphanage here outside 1.5 hours from Kiev. We brought some things. We like to help the children. There are, I think, 50 children at this orphanage. And we brought a heating pump so they can have warm water. And yeah, That's what. And then we brought a lot of clothes, new shoes, and Christmas presents, things like that.
This is not the first time you're doing it, right?
No, it's not the first time. I've been in Ukraine 3 times now.
I'm about to lie to Maiken. I don't need those details of her organization. You can always Google it on your own. Free Sky in Denmark or FutureLab in Ukraine and learn more about them and about Maiken Larsen.
No, I've heard stories about you. I lied that I don't know your name. I know your name.
Really?
Yeah, I know your name and I know your people, that you're doing a lot about for what you're doing and how you do it with a great heart and with a great empathy. And the reason of me taking an interview with you now is not to ask you any questions, but to give you a big thank you from the bottom of my heart and from the bottom of 40 million hearts of Ukrainians and from the children who are left without any other fate than relying on people with the big hearts. So thank you so very much, Mike.
You surprised me now. Thank you.
Thank you. That's it. Cut. Sorry.
A hope for future. That is what Ukrainian orphans of Russian war are craving. 3,120 of them will never speak again. But Maiken will. So take your empathy, if any, and turn it into hope. Find Maiken Larsen and ask her how. Should surely know.